No one knew that I was a sex addict until the company's team building exercise. I had forgotten to bring my medicine along for that night and was assigned to a tent with a male colleague. I was in tears as I climaxed right before his eyes, and now that there was no turning back, my impulses spiraled further away from control. No one knew that I was a sex addict until the company's team building exercise. I had forgotten to bring my medicine along for that night and was assigned to a tent with a male colleague. I was in tears as I climaxed right before his eyes, and now that there was no turning back, my impulses spiraled further away from control. Due to my addiction, my heart had been pounding the moment the supervisor came and told us we were staying the night at the hot springs. Even the briefest physical contact with a man could spark an intense reaction in me, sometimes just a flicker of desire, other times something far stronger. I had never told anyone because it was just so embarrassing, and when I was younger, I had presumed I'd simply get better once I was an adult. That was until I realized the symptoms were getting even more out of control, and there was that one time I almost moaned out loud in public, fighting back the embarrassment that almost killed me. I went to the doctor and got some medicine. However, I had forgotten to bring my medicine as this team-building exercise was organized out of the blue, and very far from my home. Even as I fought against the fear eating me inside, warning myself to restrain myself and stay well behind, our supervisor suddenly announced, "Sorry guys, all the rooms have been booked, but we have tents. There aren't many, so we're just going to have to make do. Ruth, you are going to Dean's tent." And that was how we got to the situation right now. Me, a sex addict with no meds within reach, following the burly man into the tent. I did my best to keep to a corner in the tent, biting my lip and closing my eyes, while telling myself to fall asleep as soon as I could before the last dosage lost effect. But that was when Dean came to me. "What is wrong?" he asked. I could feel his body warmth from my back, and my skin was already crawling. "Nothing, I am fine. Please, just stay away from me." But even as the stimulation extended from my skin to the rest of my body, I knew the pain was coming. I checked my phone and only saw that it was midnight. 6 hours since I had last taken my pills. It was losing effect soon. Soon, my whole body was shuddering. I kept my head buried between my legs and did my best not to look at Dean. People would mock me for being a skank if they noticed my condition, and I couldn't bear to stay in the company at that point. Meanwhile, Miles Hendricks, the other colleague in the tent, was already snoring out loud. I kept clenching my knuckles, my own nails digging into my palm. The pain calmed me somewhat, and I told Dean, "Sorry, I am not distancing myself. I am just not feeling well." Never could I have expected Dean to move toward me without another word, reaching out with his large, warm palm and pressing it over my forehead. Even as he held his palm steady, I found myself staring at his chest and nothing else. I could also see that distinct collarbone and chiseled chest under his shirt. I seemed to tighten at the very next second and orgasmed amid my embarrassment, and the ensuing moan could barely be stifled. Worst of all, I was trembling even worse after I orgasmed, and Dean could clearly feel me shaking. "That is strange. Why are you so flushed? You don't even have a fever," he murmured, not giving up feeling my forehead and cheeks just then. I trembled even more and turned my face away, but it was the back of the tent right behind me. Having nowhere else to go, I clenched my jaw so I wouldn't moan again. Even as I decided I couldn't stay in this sealed room when all I could smell was Dean. He wasn't a smoker, so his faint soapy and hormonal scent was especially recognizable. In the heat of the moment, I pushed Dean away and sent him stumbling backward, while I scrambled to crawl out of my tent, not caring that my skirt was short, exposing my wet panties right in front of his eyes. He promptly turned away to stop himself from staring, but he was no brat either. Seemingly struck with a thought, he followed me, even as I lost control over my body. The fire in my loins was ablaze, and I had never felt libido this violent. All I could think about was Dean's collarbone under his white shirt, his Adam's apple, his healthy-hued skin, and even his warm palm.